Welcome to this journey through Denmark, a country full of fascinating stories and unique traditions. Today, we'll explore everything from the Danish love for cycling to their world-famous pastries. But first, we begin with something that literally connects Denmark to our Scandinavian neighbors, Sweden. The Øresund Bridge is a remarkable feat of engineering that connects Denmark and Sweden. At its longest point, the bridge stretches over 16 kilometers, making it a vital link between the two countries. Sweden is just a short distance away from Denmark, as little as 4 kilometers at its closest point across the water. Historically, much of southern Sweden used to be part of Denmark. Denmark is a cyclist paradise with 5.5 million bicycles, almost as many as there are people in the country. On average, around 48,000 bikes are stolen every year, many of which are often smuggled out of the country and sold elsewhere. The country boasts an impressive network of bike lanes and paths, making cycling safe and efficient. Traffic lights and bike lanes at intersections are specifically designed for cyclists, ensuring smoother and safer rides for everyone on two wheels. While Denmark is known for being flat, there are still many areas with hills and height differences. Some cycling routes can include climbs of 50 to 100 meters. You might come across signs like fart control or fart plan. Now, before you start giggling, let me explain. In Danish, fart doesn't mean what you might think. It actually means speed. Denmark boasts around 7,300 kilometers of coastline, dotted with hundreds of beautiful sandy beaches. With over 400 islands, you're never far from the sea. No matter where you are in the country, a beach is always just a short drive away. Christmas is celebrated on the 24th of December. Yes, the night before, unlike many countries that wait until the 25th. And then comes the truly unique part: dancing around the Christmas tree. Picture this: everyone, young and old, holding hands, singing carols, and twirling around the tree. It's a tradition that might seem a bit strange, but in Denmark, it's all about celebrating the season with joy, even if you're just hoping you don't trip over the Christmas lights. After a popular Danish Christmas calendar from 1989, all Danish children became certain that Santa Claus is from Greenland, and definitely not from other parts of the Arctic, Finland, or Turkey. As a side note, during the big lockdown, the Danish government recommended something unusual for Christmas. Instead of singing carols, we should hum. Why? Because singing was deemed a super spreader of this allegedly dangerous virus. Maybe that's what you can call a silent Christmas. John Dillermand is a Danish children's show that caused quite a stir when it premiered. The show features the character John, who has an extremely long comical private part that he uses to perform various mischievous and funny tasks. Despite the controversy, John Dillermand quickly became a part of Danish pop culture, and its playful, absurd humor remains a unique part of Danish television history. During the summer months, the nights are so bright it almost feels like twilight never ends. Due to its northern latitude, Denmark experiences incredibly long summer days. The sky stays bright for several hours after sunset. In fact, during this time, we experience only about 2 to 3 hours of complete darkness. But head even farther north to Norway, and you'll experience the phenomenon of the midnight sun, where the sun never fully sets during the summer months. It's a magical experience that gives the north a unique, bright, and almost surreal atmosphere in the summer. The iconic Danish open-faced sandwich, smørrebrød, has been a staple of Danish cuisine since the mid-19th century. Originally a simple snack for workers, it has evolved into an art form with endless variations, from pickled herring to roast beef, potatoes, or egg with shrimp. Today, about 5 million smørrebrød are eaten every single day in Denmark, with locals enjoying them for lunch or special occasions. Served on dense rye bread and beautifully garnished, it's not just food, it's a part of Danish identity, often eaten with a cold beer or snaps on the side. Simple? Yes. Delicious? Absolutely. While the fancy smørrebrød toppings are delicious, I have to admit, there's something special about a simple meal like this. Rye bread with butter, liver pâté, and cucumber. Danish rye bread is truly unique, unlike the rye breads found in many other countries. Danish rye bread is often made with a blend of whole rye grains, seeds, and a long fermentation process that gives it a distinct, slightly sour taste. In Denmark, you'll find a wide variety of rye breads in supermarkets, with dozens of options ranging from lighter to more robust versions, all of which are made to suit different tastes and preferences. The versatility and depth of flavors make Danish rye bread one of the country's most beloved culinary traditions. Despite what many believe, Danish pastries, wienerbrød, as we call them in Denmark, didn't actually originate in Denmark. They were inspired by Austrian pastries brought to Denmark in the 19th century by Austrian bakers. Over time, Denmark made them its own, adapting and perfecting them to create the beloved pastries we know today. The name wienerbrød comes from the word Viennese, reflecting their Austrian roots. Now, these sweet, flaky treats are a staple of Danish cuisine and enjoyed worldwide. If you've ever visited Denmark, you might have noticed something pretty unusual. Licorice is everywhere. But not just any licorice. We're talking about the bold, salty kind that Danes, along with people in Sweden, Finland, and even the Netherlands, are known to adore. In fact, Denmark has a long-standing love affair with licorice, and it's not just a passing trend. Danes are some of the world's top consumers of licorice, and their fondness for it is evident in their snacks, candies, and even ice cream. Yes, you heard that right. Licorice is even used as a flavor in Danish ice cream, adding a unique twist to the classic treat. And if that's not enough, you can also find chocolate-flavored licorice, a sweet yet tangy combination that has become quite the favorite. But wait, there's more. You can even find licorice-flavored alcohol, which has gained popularity for those who enjoy a strong, distinctive taste in their drinks. So, next time you're in Denmark, don't be shy. Give it a try and experience the country's boldest flavor. Graduating from high school is a huge celebration, and it all begins with the iconic student hat. This hat is a symbol of academic success, marking the end of school and the start of the next adventure. Many graduates even wear their hats for a long time afterward, as a proud reminder of the achievement. The hats vary in color and design depending on the type of education completed, but they all hold the same tradition. After the graduation ceremony, friends, family, and classmates write personal messages, memories, and good wishes inside the hat. These messages often become treasured mementos, a keepsake of their school years and the people who were part of that journey. The highlight is the student parade. Back in the day, students used to travel in horse-drawn carriages for this celebration. Today, however, the tradition continues in large trucks, beautifully decorated for the occasion, filled with music and cheerful celebrations. As part of the tradition, the graduates are driven around in the truck, visiting each of their parents' homes along the route. At each stop, the students are welcomed with drinks and snacks, adding to the festive spirit of the day. As the day progresses, the celebration tends to get more lively, and often, students find themselves getting drunk along the way, as the drinking and dancing continue throughout the day. We have a special word called Hygge. That doesn't translate directly into English, but roughly means coziness or comfort. It's essentially an excuse to eat pastries, drink hot chocolate, and wear sweatpants, and it's a national obsession. We even have Hygge socks. It's about creating a warm, inviting atmosphere. The world-famous Lego brand was invented in Denmark in 1932. The country even has an entire theme park called Legoland, where adults can live out their childhood dreams. The name Lego is an abbreviation of the two Danish words, lege godt, meaning play well. When you think of Vikings, Denmark is often the first place that comes to mind. The Vikings, who allegedly shaped European history between 800 and 1050 AD, came from the Nordic countries, with Denmark as one of their strongholds. One of the most famous Viking kings, Harald Bluetooth, is where we get the name for the wireless technology. In fact, The Bluetooth symbol itself is based on ancient runic characters, a nod to Harald's legacy. When we talk about monarchs, Denmark is a kingdom with a rich royal heritage. Our current monarch, Frederik X, ascended the throne in January 2024 following the abdication of his mother, Margrethe II. Since the 16th century, it has been a tradition in the Danish royal family to alternate the names of their firstborn sons between Frederik and Christian. Interestingly, members of the royal family do not use a surname. Instead, they often sign documents with the letter R, which stands for the Latin words regina and rex, meaning reigning queen and reigning king. The king is free from responsibility. His person is sacred. This is stated in the Danish constitution, meaning that members of the royal family cannot be judged or punished. Officially, Denmark's monarch holds executive authority over the government of Denmark, but in practice, the king only appoints a new government after a national election and approves new laws passed by the Danish parliament. He reigns but does not rule, so far. It's lucky that they didn't have a first name starting with T. If they did, they might have ended up sharing a name with a dinosaur. Imagine T, Regina, or T-Rex. Both are dinosaurs, and not exactly the royal vibe we're going for. Or maybe we do? One of Denmark's most famous figures isn't a real monarch, but a fictional prince, Hamlet. Created by William Shakespeare, this tragic character is the Prince of Denmark, known for his famous soliloquy, "To be or not to be." Legends of the Little Mermaid. Copenhagen's famous Little Mermaid statue was actually based on a Danish fairy tale written by Hans Christian Andersen, but over the years, it's become a global symbol of Denmark. Hans Christian Andersen is one of Denmark's most beloved figures, renowned worldwide for his fairy tales that have enchanted readers for generations. Stories such as The Little Mermaid, The Ugly Duckling, and The Princess and the Pea are not just fairy tales. They are timeless lessons about love, self-discovery, and the human condition. Andersen's tales have been translated into over 100 languages and adapted into countless plays, movies, and ballets. Despite facing hardships in his early life, including poverty and rejection, he went on to become one of the most successful authors in Denmark's history. Today, Andersen's legacy is celebrated across the world, and his stories continue to inspire both young and old. Denmark is proud to have been home to Niels Bohr, one of the most influential physicists in history. Bohr's groundbreaking work in atomic theory forever changed our understanding of the atom. He won the Nobel Prize in Physics in 1922 for his model of the atom, which laid the foundation for much of modern physics. On the philosophical side, Denmark gave the world Søren Kierkegaard, a thinker who laid the groundwork for existentialism. Living in the 19th century, Kierkegaard explored deep questions about the human condition, anxiety, and faith. His ideas on individuality and the subjective experience have influenced countless philosophers and continue to challenge our views on life and existence. Now let's talk about a Danish classic,
Rødgrød med fløde.
or, as we like to call it, the ultimate test for anyone who doesn't speak Danish. It's a simple dish, a sweet, tangy red berry pudding with cream on top. But the real challenge? Getting foreigners to pronounce it. Try saying rødgrød med fløde without getting your tongue twisted. It's nearly impossible for non-Danes, and we love watching the struggle. So, if you ever visit Denmark, don't be afraid to try this delicious dessert, but be ready for some laughs as we all watch you tackle that tricky pronunciation. Dannebrog, the national flag of Denmark, is one of the oldest flags in the world, with a fascinating history that dates back to 1219. According to legend, the flag fell from the sky during a battle and was believed to be a divine sign of victory. In Denmark, flags hold a special place in celebrations, not just on national holidays. People place Danish flags in the garden, on the table, in the cake, on the Christmas tree, decorate their homes, and display them during celebrations. The list goes on and on. Whatever you can think of to decorate, the flag will be there. And if you happen to forget your flag in the airport, no worries. Most airports will let you borrow one for free. Because, of course, you can never have too many flags in Denmark. It's so ingrained in Danish culture that we hardly think twice about it. The little Dannebrog has simply become synonymous with birthdays and celebrations. It's a cherished custom, adding a festive touch to any occasion. Instead of starting the week on a Sunday, like in many other countries, the Danish week system begins on Monday. The obsession with week numbers is almost absurd. Who has ever really kept track of when week 29 falls? Yet, in Denmark, week numbers are so widely used that everyone knows when week 29 is, as these weeks are closely associated with the summer holidays. It's a small detail, but one that plays a big role in everyday life and vacation planning in Denmark. Kim Larsen was one of Denmark's most beloved musicians, a true icon who won the hearts of both young and old. For over 40 years, his music resonated deeply with generations of Danes. On October 5, 2018, Denmark paid tribute to Kim Larsen. People from all walks of life gathered in cities across the country for memorial processions, and his music filled the air everywhere, from the trains and buses to the shopping streets. It was as if his spirit was everywhere, turning every corner of Denmark into a living tribute to a man who will never be forgotten. I've compiled some videos from that day to give you a glimpse of this unforgettable tribute, a tribute unlike anything else Denmark has ever seen. As we come to the end of this journey, we leave you with a song that resonates deeply in the hearts of all Danes, the Danish national anthem. Written in the early 19th century, the anthem reflects the beauty and pride of Denmark. It's a powerful reminder of the nation's unity and heritage. Thanks for watching.